Good morning, Sea of Galilee. That's where Jesus lived and did all his ministry, right along that coastline, right there. That's where we're going to be spending the next few days. We have some of our folks already out looking at everything, enjoying the sea.
How do they know we're English or American?
Dining room, garden, swimming pool and
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Come on in. And here we are for breakfast at the beautiful Ron Beach Hotel.
Are we good?
We're good. We're on our way. Yalla. Just so you know, yalla means let's go in Arabic. Yalla yalla. You'll hear that a lot. So we're on our way. And Father, will you open in prayer? A prophet he'll raise up from among your own people. And when he comes, listen to him. So this is Jesus becoming the new Moses. And the first thing he says, the law says this, but I tell you. In other words, he's here as the new Moses to reinterpret the law. So we're having our first Mass here in the Holy Land, and it's on the Mount of Beatitudes, looking out over the Sea of Galilee.
Amen. She didn't care. She called over and over and over. You're coming on this retreat. You're coming on this retreat. Well, there's two stories. One is returning to the Lord, and then another story would be hearing and heeding his call to the seminary, to priesthood.
This is the water, headwaters of the Jordan River that flow out from underneath this rock at Caesarea Philippi, where Jesus said, "You are rock, and on this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of hell," right there, "will not prevail against it." Here's our folks here at Banyas, Caesarea Philippi of Matthew 16. There's the cave, gates of hell. Temple used to be built right in front of that. The god Pan was worshipped here. How the city got the name Banyas. And here we are. I just gave my talk on Peter and the rock, the keys. And now we're seeing the place. narrow roads going up into the mountains of the Golan and the Druze area. At the terraces where they grow their apples and peaches and pears and cherries. In the beautiful countryside there. And we're following the other bus with our group. The mountains are heading for lunch at the Druze Lebanese restaurant. And here's all the folks in the back. There goes the goat yogurt, called lebna. Goat yogurt first goes on the bread, and a little olive oil, and then the za'atar herb. Then it's wrapped up tight and put on the grill to get warm. And there's a sandwich. Good to see you.
Alan, how are you?
Very good.
I love you.
We love you too. Good sandwiches. These are the Druze bread sandwich. After how you just saw them make them, they put them out here on the grill and get them nice and hot for us. So we're here at the Ren Lebanese restaurant. And these seats are all for us and on the inside too. Beautiful day here today for lunch. Beautiful day. And there's the menu if you want to see what you're going to get.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Welcome.
Folks, when the media that you listen to back home presents those groups as, you know, resistance to the dictatorship that is ruling over certain countries in the Middle East, I hope you...
Amer's explaining the situation. That over there is Syria. In those trees right there is that's the border between Israel and Syria. That is Syria there, right there. That mountain's in Syria. We're here looking out over the land of Syria where ISIS has been, but has been moved out. Trump is pushing them out. And so there we're looking out over Syria, and very moving for people.
Protect them, deliver them, bring them to safety, bring about great change in our time, that we may live in peace. We ask your peace, God, upon this land and these lands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
We arrive now at Tabgha, where Jesus multiplied the loaves and the fish.
You were here some 1,700 years ago, you would have seen a small chapel inside the church of today. When you go in there, you're going to see next to the altar there's a piece of glass in the floor, and under that glass is, or are actually, ruins of the very first church that we found here, and that dates back to the year 350 AD to enlarge the business. So
Amer's explaining about the Church of the Multiplication here. I'm going to take you in and show you what they're going to see next, because there's no one here right now. You can pray here, but not talk. This is a church that marks the place where Jesus multiplied the loaves and fish, called the Church of the Multiplication. And yes, it was a real miracle. He didn't just teach people to share. It was a real miracle, and he multiplied loaves and fish to feed 5,000 men, plus women and children. Right there is the 5th century mosaic, which I'll show you next. That marks the place of the multiplication of loaves and fish. And there's a charcoal fire. It's a charcoal fire. Sitting burning. So he's standing by the charcoal fire warming his hands, and a little servant girl says, "You're one of his, aren't you?" "I am not." He had just said a couple days before, "I'll die for you. Nobody's going to touch you. I'll die for you, Jesus." The little servant girl says, "You're one of his." He said, "I am not." A few minutes later, another servant girl in front of that fire says, "You're one of his, aren't you? Your accent betrays you. You're a Galilean. You're not from around here." And he says, "I don't even know the man." That's horrible to say. Then another one says, "You're one of his." And he says, "Damn it, I am not." He cursed. "I do not know him." And he swears. And Jesus, it said in the Gospel of Luke, it said Jesus turned and looked at Peter. The rooster crows and Jesus turns and looks at Peter. Can you imagine that look? Can you imagine what feelings it elicited in Peter? And the disappointment in Jesus' eyes? I told you. On the shore there, called the disciples in, John chapter 21. The nun from Algeria, 385, said that there were 3 stones, "I love you, I love you, I love you," representing the 3 I love yous in John chapter 21. And said that she came here, there were stones cut in a rock, and that's those. And she went in here, like our pilgrims did today. Of course, then it wasn't a church here, and touched the rock that Jesus used as his table, the Mensa Christi. The Mensa Christi right there, that's where Jesus fed the disciples in John chapter 21. A statue of Jesus giving Peter the primacy, and Father Vasek looking out over the Sea of Galilee. Nice time. We're all coming up from that site to get on the bus and go back to Tiberias, and it's a beautiful view as we go along the lake. We're getting back to our hotel now, the Ron Beach. We're just about there, and Janet's giving the announcements for dinner tonight and for tomorrow morning. Today we always get home early to the hotel because people are tired, and give them a few hours of free time along the Sea of Galilee, which is right outside the hotel there. Look at this beautiful place. Look at the fish. Right in the lobby. And then there's a bar there. You can get coffee, wine, or beer. And we're just arriving back. Everybody's getting off the bus, and a lot are going swimming. It's nice to see our folks sharing and talking and having a glass of wine together at the end of the day, looking out over the boats on the Sea of Galilee and the Golan Heights, all these biblical sites. Beautiful place here, Ron Beach. And nice seeing them all enjoying themselves after a nice day today. So dinner's in an hour and a half, and good night. We'll see you tomorrow from the Sea of Galilee. And so here we see some fishermen going out on the Sea of Galilee to fish tonight.